Textbooks, a tried and true method of learning a language, but they're not the only way. Today, I'm going to be showing you some alternative resources that you can use to both boost your language learning and to keep you motivated along the way. So let's get started. So one really popular aspect of Japanese culture outside of Japan is that of anime and manga. And when I was a lot younger, I myself was interested in the anime Naruto. Fast forward to a few years ago when I was just beginning Japanese, and I was in a bookshop in Tokyo looking at this. The first volume of the Naruto manga in Japanese. The great thing about learning it with a story you already know is that you can look at a certain page, use the images like this, see a few of the words you identify, and using your knowledge of the story itself to put together what's going on. I was only at the beginner level at the time, but I was able to more or less read the story using a method like this. If there's a manga you have an interest in, it might be worth having a look at the Japanese version and seeing if you can use it to learn Japanese for yourself. One other really cool thing about this is a lot of popular manga comes with hiragana, which is like smaller hiragana that appear above the kanji. This can be really helpful if you don't know how to read or pronounce a kanji, and it really helps you if you want to look it up to find out its meaning. Something I advise you do whenever you come across common kanji that you're not familiar with. But one thing I will say is that Japanese manga isn't always the easiest thing to find if you're not living in Japan, and that's where something like a Japanese TV series can come in really handy. If you go on Netflix right now, there are heaps of Japanese shows, both animated and not, that you can use to boost your Japanese learning. Some of them even have the option of Japanese subtitles. If you want everything to have Japanese subtitles, one way you can go about it is by getting a VPN and setting your location to Japan. By that way, you can watch all these videos with Japanese subtitles so you can both see the written Japanese and hear the Japanese spoken and make that connection in your mind. I use this method to learn the word muri in Japanese. I still have memories of seeing that word written, seeing it spoken, noticing it was being said a lot, which led me to go and research what the word meant. So a bit of a pattern is becoming apparent here. A lot of the things I'm talking about are using knowledge you already have and combining that with new Japanese resources to make new connections in your mind. And another resource that is sort of strange is these books here. Now they also exist for some common popular Disney movies. One thing these books do is they go through key moments from the Star Wars movies and break down the lines spoken, the English lines, and how they translate to Japanese. And what this does is it effectively communicates to Japanese speakers not only what's being said literally, but some of the things that maybe got lost along the way in translation. So have a look at these sort of things if it's what you're interested in, and maybe have a go, because you might find them a worthy addition to your bookshelf. Another thing you can try is just simply using Japanese fiction books. I know a few years ago, I bought the first Harry Potter book, which was split into 2 volumes, and the novelization of the film Kimi no Na wa, or Your Name. One thing really interesting about these is depending on your Japanese level, you might be able to have a look inside, read some of the words, and use your knowledge of the story to put together what's going on. This itself can lead to learning new words that are found in the book, which can continue the cycle of learning Japanese. Particularly if you're interested in one of these stories, it can be a really great way to motivate you to keep you learning. Because if learning Japanese isn't fun, eventually you might lose interest, unless you've got some really strong willpower. But if you're looking for a free resource, I would recommend using something like YouTube. One thing you can do is find a topic you're interested in, find the Japanese word for that topic, type that into the search bar on YouTube, and have a look at what comes up. There might be something you can watch that fits in with your current interests and hobbies, but is also part of studying the Japanese. If you're just looking for something random to put on, I would maybe suggest typing any hiragana into the YouTube search bar, clicking search, and seeing what comes up. It might be something completely random, but if it's in Japanese, it's another way of learning, and that might be more your style. One thing I personally use is the ANNnewsCH channel. They have a 24-hour live stream of Japanese news that is great to just put on in the background if you're exercising or resting or studying or cleaning up. It just helps solidify that information in your brain and help you make Japanese language connections. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, it would be great if you could leave a like, and it would be really helpful to me if you subscribe. I'll have more and more videos just like this coming out in the coming weeks, so if that's something you might be interested in, feel free to do that. But until then, thanks for watching.